Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Myles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
You're locked into the vault with Dante Myles on Fire 716 Radio. Let's go.
All right, guys, guess what? We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome to the Vault, Fire 716 Radio. Before we get into the show, we would like to take care of the business of making sure you go to Fire 716 Radio, the app, download the app, and, you know what I'm saying, and tune in. It's a lot of good content. So today I'm keeping it nice and sweet. I'm keeping it nice and easy with open forum. I can start off, and again, so let me do this. Let me handle this too, good brother Frank. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in this number here.
All right.
That would be 716.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We moved the building.
There we go.
I got you. Hold on.
He got me. He got me in the
716-205
205
8136.
36. All right, so I'm going to post this right here, and I'm going to pin it. So you guys, in the event that anyone wants to give a call in, you can do so at that number. Okay, so I'll start off. I'm going to start off with the last city council meeting. I'm always talking about this, but it's always some stuff pop off that just don't be making no sense to me. No godly sense. So, you know, we got the city council meeting was pretty short as far as agenda items was concerned last week.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, you know, I had some questions, some things, and you know, things that I wanted to, you know, address. And at the at the end of the meeting, good morning, Mr. Frank. How are you, Miss Crawford, Miss Linda Joyner Scott? That's my god brother's mom. Good brother Ezra. Okay, so at the end of that meeting, we our chairperson, that would be Mr. David Zajac, he asked our clerk, was that the last person on for the good of the community? She said yes. As soon as she said yes, he said, good, meeting adjourned. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a group of people who claim that they always follow the decorum of Robert Rules of Order, and they love to pull that out. Oh, well, yeah, we have to do things in, you know, in regards to Robert's Rule of Order and so on and so forth. He totally disregarded Robert Rules of Order as it pertains to how he ended the meeting. How you doing, Nisha? And because in Robert Rules of Order, you're supposed to make a motion to adjourn and close the meeting. That motion must be second, and you have to have, and then it has to have a majority vote. And none of that happened. So no one is above the rules. And if you're going to point the rules at me, just make sure you're following and abiding by them yourself, because that makes all of the sense in the world. So, needless to say, our meeting was not properly closed last time. So I'll be addressing that next week. I think a lot of people. So what's going on, Kev? I see you. I think a lot of people should show up. Not just because of that. I think it needs to be a culture of show up culture, period. So Uh, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to uh, any. Do you guys have any questions in regard? Brought to you by Capri Sun. Today, the Roaring Waters. Um, any questions in regards to any questions in regards to city hall, city council? You know, my style of governing. I've actually had someone I've had it made mention to me that someone, as per how I responded to last week's meeting, someone actually said that I was a jerk. Uh, um, yeah. So, what's going on, Mr. Bergatti, Mr. McKimmy? Got two Christophers right behind each other. While I'm waiting, any responses or any questions to me? Also, y'all see this cool jacket that I got right here? This is fall street gear,
Oh, valid.
and this dude, he got some solid gear. I can't even front. Um, but yeah, so I'm sporting him today. Real funky. So, any questions? We have campaign going on. Campaigns because it's campaign season.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware. Keep pay attention to everyone's track record. I've been saying that as of late. Check your track records matter. Right. I've been called worse. Trust me. What's going on, Quince? Mr. Jenko. Hey, Mary. Hey, okay. We coming in. We piling in. I love it. So, if anyone has any questions to me, what's going on with the Presti apartments? That's a good question. So, um, what happened was, yeah, it was definitely. I'm gonna definitely make sure that I set that straight. But yes, Mary, they had a meeting. So what happened is once they first started, they had a meeting. Um, they didn't. I don't think they did it correctly. They didn't bring the community. They didn't really engage the community in a manner that they should have. So one of the representatives from the people who are doing the project called me and was hoping to get my support for what it was that they were doing. And I asked, "How you doing, Julia?" I asked them, "Did you engage the community?" And I said, I let them know. I said, "I don't know if you checked my track record and got the memo, but the last time some investment company decided they wanted to do what they wanted to do in a space, and they thought that they were going to bypass the community, I roared as hard as and loud as I possibly could and got as many people involved and engaged as possible. And they came through and we shut it down. So um, I said, so if you didn't engage the community, then I'm probably the last person you want to call for support right now. But if you want to do things in fairness, make sure you reach out to the community first. I think that's always fair. And I said, and they were trying to explain to me, all of the good things that they do. I said, well, listen, I'm not the only person you need to tell this to. It's a community of people that are going to be affected by whatever decision that you make with these Presti apartments over here on 16th and Ferry, and between Ferry and Walnut. So here's the thing: you talking about, is this for in regards to the Presti apartments? If it is, the thing is this: it's about what they want to do in that portion of development. So if you're going to make a change, now that building has been a senior building forever. If you want to make a change to that building, you got to consider all of the people who live there. the family. So the thing is that you have to engage the community before you develop, because what happens is that everybody's going to feel like they're going to be able to come in and just do whatever it is that they want to whatever. Like I give you a prime example. What was it? DePaul. They had that project that they wanted to do, and they wanted to put pretty much a kind of like a homeless shelter type situation with a mental health facility, and then to sweeten the deal, they were going to put some housing for elderly people in one building. That didn't make any sense. And then, low income housing all across the street from St. John AME. Is that area not the hub of low income housing already? We had Unity Park, which is now called Cornerstone. We have Jordan Gardens. We have the Beloved Center, which was formerly known as Center Court. Down the street around the corner, you got Mount Eagle Ridge. You got the Flat Tops. You got a lot of these spaces that's congested, but we still have a grave site Main Street. We don't have job opportunities in that space. They're taking away bus routes out of that space. So for me, it's like I'm all for development.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for even taking risks, but I believe in being a calculated risk taker. And not because then what happens is you allow things like, our mayor to continuously, how you doing, Julia? Good to see you. To continue to, hey, Auntie Mo, to continue to bring in whatever it is that they want, to continue to sell our housing stock. So that's, again, because investment, an investment, it has to be inclusive when it comes down to the community. So with Presty, what I will say, definitely no grocery store, because that Tops. And I actually thank you for bringing that up, because I'm about to do a sick follow-up with the people from Tops, because they, when I hit them before, because somebody had found a little roach that was running around in the grocery store in Tops, and I hit that. Oh yeah, we're working on things, so they didn't really want me to call them out. And I've been back now. That's been months, and I've been back and nothing has changed, not even the doggone register. So with that being said, I have a heavy follow-up with that. So with the Presty Apartments, one thing I will say is that, it does need renovating.
Oh, for sure.
So do the renovations, but make sure that, any other project outside of that, that you're just being inclusive with the conversation in regards to community. That's the main thing that I've always preached, though, is just talk to the community. Definitely food desert. Absolutely. And we don't get the quality of food, because the quality of Tops over here on Portage in comparison to the Tops on Niagara Falls Boulevard is night and day. Not really all that great of a fan of Tops, but the one there definitely is much greater. Their Wegmans, they have their space. The Save-A-Lot here versus there. It's just a 5-minute drive is night and day. So the people on the north end in the 4th Ward, 4th District deserves a better quality of shopping experience for groceries, for the quality of life, than what we have over here. So I think what's going to end up happening, let's see here, better lighting definitely needs that. Yeah, I remember too, the guy from Shark Tank, he had mentioned even considering building, but the politics behind this. All moving forward, but can't move forward without fixing the ancient infrastructure and trees. Absolutely, the streets and trees. I mean, that was another thing. Oh, Zajac, man, listen, this guy, he was like, well, because I was talking about the CDBGs, and what happens is him and Mrs. Bax, they love to talk up. They like to bring up, well, what line item Would it be coming for? Do you know what line item is? Like, come on, CDBG funds. I know what they're for.
Yeah.
I know what they're for. I know they're here to help a lot of people who are, um, like homes, housing, like when it comes down to like renovation for people who need that renovation in
Wow.
specific areas. The demolition of housing that is beyond repair. That's just an eyesore for the city. The streets, the
Oh, my
plowing.
goodness.
Let's go throughout the whole city of Niagara Falls. I promise you. Not and it's creeping in some of the other areas that they didn't think it was gonna make it there. Now let like and then he was like, "Well, what if some of it was taken out of the street plow? I mean, not the plow. I'm sorry, not the not plowing, but that's the DPW, the street paving, repaving of the streets. Don't we need these streets repaved?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm like, so, but what happens is like you get people that's in office. Trees definitely are ridiculous. We got ash trees that needs to be, and it's still like a 13, 14 year list from the trees too. Um, man, you had $14,000 of damage done over a year ago to your car. That's horrible. That's horrible. And see what happens is, so when you look at things like, and when they make those excuses, DPW, code enforcement, we don't have this for that, but we don't have that for that. But we're talking about again of $150 million. So we got $150 million, do we? Plus the extra fires this Centennial Park. I'm gonna always keep drilling that because that's something that just does to me. All it is just a plot to try, to get reelected. That's all. Hmm. Every street in the falls needs absolutely, definitely needs it. So when you're looking at all of these different scenarios and situations, um, you're looking at a body of governing body of people who are disconnected. So one of the things I think I might bring up is something that I can definitely I want to bring up is the what you call it by district. I think that our city council, and I think we probably should go back into the charter, and I think that should be changed. I think that instead of us being an at-large position, that we need to be elected by districts. So what does that look like, Dante? I'm glad y'all asked. Um, by district where you're going to run the same way the county legislation runs. So if you're part of this district, you're going to run for district 4, that so on and so forth. Because what happens is you get people who are like, I'll give you a prime example. Um, and I know a lot of people are not going to care too much for this, but however, it's an idea, but it makes sense because we had all of last year, we had 2 people from LaSalle and 2 people from DeVoe, and then there's me. 2 people from one district, and then there's me, and I represent everybody. Listen. There's not a person that can call me, and I don't respond. Like, so, but what happened is that you know, um, most of my colleagues didn't really have the heavy concerns of the people in the forefront. It was just so much stuff just being pushed through. So many special meetings. Um, with those special meetings that just like and that those special meetings just like just literally muzzled the voice of the people. Um, what's going on, dear? Um, yeah, it really was just a muzzle. Hold on, let's see here now. Chris, do you want to come on screen? Because I just want to make sure, because some people push the button by accident. I don't want you to. I don't want to yank you on the screen, and yeah, you just let me know. So what happened is, I feel like it becomes taxation without representation. Um, you know, and uh, you're gonna get a stronger me. Like last year, some people thought, I'm telling you, I said this before, some people thought I was something last year. Man, I was going through a lot, right? In my personal, financial. You remember Mayor, him and the crew, they did what they had to do to, help get my job defunded. And, but I was still fighting. Okay. No problem. No problem. Um, I was still fighting. I still was trying to be a champion for the people, and just like finding a way to balance. You know what I'm saying? And well, this year I've been blessed. I've been blessed because yeah, I don't. I'm. Listen, I'm not. Just in case if people don't understand, I'm not one that's just gonna fall in line. You know, I'm real grown. I'm 3 times 7 plus. I've been there for a long time, right? Um, and I care more so about my kids' future than any one of their reputations. Period. Period. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna be out here shucking and jiving. I'm not gonna be out here kowtowing to a soul. I said it before, I'll say it again. If it's not funny, I'm not laughing. If it's not itching, I'm not scratching. You know what I mean? Um, let's see here. Our vote matters collective. Absolutely. And then here's the thing. That's why I say the people got to show up. You got to show up now. You got to show up last year. And not just at the polls, because the showing up at the polls is going to get us what we got, because you may not know what's going on in-house. Check these. Matter of fact, I'm about to give everybody on here a gem. I'm gonna give you a gem. This year, y'all know the election is taking place. There is, 2 seats and probably like 8 to 10 people running for those 2 council seats, which still baffles me to this day. And there's this mayoral seat. Here's what I'm challenging everyone to do. Show up to see anyone who's running. I know Carly's running again and whatnot, and I still have my, there's reservations that I have, because I don't need anyone that is, and I'm hoping that's not who he is, but I haven't, maybe I haven't given him enough time yet, or maybe I have. At the end of the day, I don't need anyone to be a party promoter. And when I say a party promoter, I'm not talking about these parties. I'm talking about the Democrat Republican Party. At the end of the day, you need to be a person that understands the people. So come and see the people. But for all of the people that's running, because I said this before, right? And show up on time. That's good. Thank you, Rick. Listen, meeting starts at 6. But if you want to speak, come a 1:45, so you can sign the sheet. That's the only way you're going to speak. It's not just to pop up and say something. There is order. So show up, sign the sheet. Good of the community. You can talk about anything. Or you can sign or the agenda item sheet, or you can sign both. If you want to talk about something that's on the agenda item versus the good of the community, cool. Make sure you do that. With that being said, make sure you come and hold the people that are running, period. Hold them accountable. So let's see who's going to show up and stand at that podium as a candidate and speak out on some stuff. That's what I want all of us to do. Everybody that's here. Right. Why is there? But it is what it is. So that's why I want to give you the cheat code for those who don't know about it is come sign that sheet. Come early. But with that being said, come to city council and make sure you come and see all of the people who are running. Everybody who was running, matter of public record, absolutely. Thank you, Chris. All of the people who are running, because if you're not willing to stand at that podium and stand up for something, pick one of these issues. It's enough issues. I'm sure it's enough issues in the city of Niagara Falls. It's way more than enough issues for anyone to stand behind and stand up for something or fight against something that doesn't that isn't right. Governing tactics that may not be right. Come and see who's misrepresenting you, because there's a such thing as misrepresentation in our city hall. Come see who's misrepresenting you, and come see for those who are running, are they willing to stand up at that podium? Because a lot of people are asking me, who do I think? And I said, I don't see a lot of and I don't expect a person to be like me, but the type of how I believe in governing, is there a way to get it? Okay, so on the website, I'll go back to that. Give me just a second. So I don't expect to see a lot of me. But what I do say is that before I actually ran, before I even thought about running, Donta stood at that podium many a times. I can go back into the archives and show you many a times where I tore into Mayor Deister because of some foolishness when he pretty much opened up our city to a whole bunch of sex offenders, just so we can get numbers. Are you serious? Like, we got kids around here, and I laid into him back then. That was way back then. So I hit that podium years before I ran on issues that affected the community. All I'm saying is now we need to see if the people who's running, and I'm talking about every last one of y'all that's out here running. I'm keeping it a buck with every last one of y'all that's out here. And I'm talking about from Jim Perry. I'm talking about from Brian Archie. I'm talking about, Mike Gowell. I'm talking about Cauley. I'm talking about, what's up, Kim? How you doing, love? I'm talking about, Sharita, Shanita. Gwendolyn Walker Streeter. I'm talking about Unica. I'm naming a lot of people because it's a whole bunch of people that's running. So with that being said, everybody that's running, you're going to have to pick up something, and you're going to have to come and show the community that you're willing to stand for something. That's the advice that I've given anyone that's running. Anyone that's running, they'll tell you, Donta said that. What's going on, cousin? So make sure that when you come, hold us accountable, hold these elected officials who are already there, and hold those who are running. Are you going to be a silent voice? Are you going to be a Dave Zajac of 2022 and not say nothing the whole year while you're running? Like, that's impossible for me. That right there, that's not going to be something that's ever going to fly. That's never going to fly with me. So what's going to happen is let's make sure we start holding everybody accountable on every level. All right. So this has been fun today. Told you I was going to be a short day because I got stuff on the agenda. Thank y'all for showing up. It's me and your boy Big Frank. We out here at the vault. Listen, catch us again next week at 11. We in the new space. Listen, I love it here, man. This is definitely, and let me just keep it a buck. I love the family feel. So Fire 716, we like a big family, but we're more so the beginning of the community engagement. That we're the beginning of being the hub.
For sure.
We want to make sure that it's very inclusive, and I want y'all to know that. Pay attention to that and keep your eyes open. I'm gonna, whatever it is that we got going on here, I'm definitely gonna make sure that I put it out there. You feel me? So again, thank you guys for coming next week, next Thursday at the Vault at 11 a.m. Please put it on your calendars. Put it on your whatchamajigga, the phone, all of that. Yeah, make an alarm for it every Thursday at 11. Tune into the Vault. Peace and love. I'm definitely gonna still check your responses and everything. I'm gonna go ahead out there on 716 Fire 716. Check the responses. I will try to do everything I can to respond back to you guys. Peace and love, everybody. Catch you later. It's your boy Donta Myles, aka D Belly, aka your city council. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Donta Myles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out.
Are you ready to launch your business, but you don't know where to begin? Join the Iberio Business Center online program, which serves the Finger Lakes in Rochester, New York. The business course is offered in both English and in Spanish. Take advantage of the different speakers and their expertise throughout this course. The online program includes a pitch competition, which will assist you with funding for your business. For more information, visit iberio.org or call 716